Oh, you're here. Oh, I was noodling. Hi, I'm calling Daniel from riffninja.com. Oh yeah, that's my question today. This is a question from one of my students. Dave asked me, what's the secret to noodling? He says he doesn't get it. Neither do I, man. Noodling? What is noodling? Well, I think the first time I heard that term, noodling, was from Eddie Van Halen. When they asked Eddie what he does to practice, he goes, oh, you know, sometimes I get bored and I sit with my feet up on the couch in front of the TV and I start to noodle. I start to play my scales is what he's meaning, you know. And there are many scales, of course. We could play these. We could play scales. I mean, I bought this book once for fun. It's called 10,000 Scales. And it's pretty funny because in all my life, I'll never learn 10,000 scales. And I don't think you need to know that many. You really don't need to know that many scales. You need to understand how they fit into your fingerboard, but you don't need to know like a million scales. You need to understand a few really well and then be able to move them around. Really, people like Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix, those guys, they only played 3 or 4 different scales, but they knew them all over the fretboard, eh? And that's really the secret to noodling, I guess, is understanding a few scales and then moving them around into all the different keys. I usually pick a key that I'm in the mood for, and I start to join my scales in different ways. Sometimes with riffs that I know, sometimes I make them up as I go. It's whatever my mood is, right? Chromatic passing notes work, the diatonic scale, the pentatonic scale. It depends on the mood, right? The secret of noodling is knowing a key that you're in, like establishing a key. Like say I decide I'm going to be in A minor, then I'll play all my scales based on A minor and I'll just start fiddling with them. I like pentatonic, that's a personal preference. Now there I just started moving up the fretboard in A pentatonic minor. I mean, you can go wherever you want to go. If you know a few scales, like if you know the pentatonic minor scale and the diatonic scale, diatonic minor, this would be an A minor. Then wherever you can find those notes. If you know your relative majors and minors, that helps you a lot more too, because then you can understand that along with the minor scale, you have a relative major, and that can be found in close proximity. Now I'm playing diatonic scales. I'm noodling right now. That's what they call noodling. I'm using A minor again, right? Because that's kind of what I'm in the mood for today is A minor. It's a great key. Start with some really popular keys if you're going to do that. And really what you need to do is figure out a few scale positions, and then you need to work them together in as many different combinations as you can think of. And you need to know your riffs. Like, you know, if you learn a Chuck Berry riff, you need to know how that fits in with the scale. So you'll want to take a look at the riffs, you know, and you might, if you don't know any riffs, then just start playing the scale. You just have to start playing the scale. You have to understand what scales work together. There's my A minor, there's my C major, which is relative major. Here's another A minor. Here's another C major up here. or down here. You know, same one that was up here at the 15th fret. There's no quick cure for this. The cure is to start working your scales, and if you only know one scale, then noodle with that scale. How many different ways can you play the notes in an A pentatonic scale? Don't forget, you've also got chromatic passing notes too. And then you got your diatonic scale that overlaps it. The whole time I've been teaching this lesson, I've pretty much been noodling in A minor, right? You can steal any of these ideas that I've given you right now and you can go for it, but you got to be creative. It's sort of like, if I gave you, if you only knew one scale, then I would consider that you've got 5 colors. Like if you only knew the pentatonic scale, you'd have 5 colors, 5 different notes. Of course, you have all the different octaves, which are shades of those colors, right? That's kind of the way I look at it. So I say to you, if you knew like 3 or 4 scales, you'd have like one of those big boxes of Crayola crayons that have like 48 different colors in them. And now paint a musical picture with it. So once the more you understand about your scales, the more options you have to discover the different colors. There's C major, but I'm still playing in A minor. Here's A minor, diatonic, here's C major, diatonic relative. Here's C major again. A minor, that's A minor open. A minor all the way up on my E string. I'm noodling. I've been doing it the whole time. You getting it? Getting any of this? I hope you are. You know, and back down. It's still an A minor. Yeah, there's a lot you can do with it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, that's what noodling is. It really is just getting more familiar with your scales. Learning how they all fit together. And you can either play it in a real traditional manner with the metronome clicked on, or you can just sit there and start enjoying the sounds of your scales and making them sound like more than a scale. Instead of sitting there with a somber face and going... Don't move, don't smile, because you're not having fun, right? Or still noodling in A minor. That's sometimes pentatonic, sometimes chromatic, you know, chromatic pass notes. I'm using diatonic, pentatonic with chromatic passing notes, relative major and minor. Well, that's a good start. There you go. Hopefully, Dave, I answered your question on noodling a little bit. There's, of course, a lot deeper answers than that, but there's a good start for you. Take what you already know and get to know it even better, and then take the next step and maybe learn a new scale at one point or another, or learn something that I've mentioned here today that you don't know. You won't get it all at once. The idea is to have fun with it. All right, thanks a lot for all the suggestions, the questions, the answers, the whole bit. Don't forget to subscribe. It's your input that will change the way I'm teaching and what I'm teaching. And while you're at it, why don't you check out my site, riffninja.com. There's an offer for a free trial for the lessons. And this is just a touch of what I like to do. So if you really want to get serious, you'll have to check out my site. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. Take care. We'll see you soon.